Hi, welcome to the African Diaspora channel. Of course, as one channel in collaboration with CRBC, Cross River Broadcasting Corporation. And today, we're going to be delving into something more serious. And we're going to be looking at policies. Let's not forget, policies are like roadmaps, that drive economy, that drive a certain state or country. But in between that, we need institutions, we need agencies, and most importantly, we need people to bring to life these policies. And that is why the Cross River State Planning Commission plays a pivotal role in giving life to these policies. Join me as I welcome no other than the very Chief Executive Officer to the Cross River State Planning Commission, Pastor Bong. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Janice.
And I was telling someone behind cameras, I'm like, have you read Pastor Bong's profile before? Rich, not just rich, but very thick. Thank you so much for joining us here on the African Diaspora channel in collaboration with Cross River Broadcasting Corporation.
Thank you for your very kind words, Janice.
But I like to make my guests relax a bit more. Obviously, it's a podcast. So, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Coffee. Why coffee?
Because I'm black.
Okay, so let's look at the State Planning Commission. You are the driver, or more like the one person at the helm of affairs when we talk about the State Planning Commission. But in a nutshell, I would like you to tell our people, this is a global platform. So people are going to be watching us from all over the world, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to, in a nutshell, tell us what this commission does. What is the primary responsibility of the Cross River State Planning Commission?
Thank you very much, Janice. I don't just drive the State Planning Commission. I lead the team of drivers of the State Planning Commission.
Okay.
So I have a fantastic team. His Excellency, in his wisdom, has appointed 4 very strong commissioners who work with me in the State Planning Commission. And we also have a permanent secretary who drives the administrative arm of the commission. Okay. So what we do in the Cross River State Planning Commission, as set up by law, is basically policy formulation. We formulate policies, we develop action plans, we develop long-term, medium-term, and short-term plans, as in yearly plans for every ministry, department, and agency of government, as well as local government councils. Beyond the development of these plans, we coordinate governance. So the State Planning Commission has a mandate for governance coordination within the state and as well as the local government councils. And beyond coordination of governance, we also monitor and we evaluate implementation of policies across government. Okay. And we solve minor issues that may arise within government. We also tell appointees and government offices what to do, how to do, when to do, and where to do. So we give them what we call mandates. So we coordinate the assignment of mandates to political appointees and government officials. Okay, fantastic.
Now you have talked about long-term, short-term, and middle-term goals and policies that drive the state. I would like to know the key policies that are currently in place that drive economic growth and development in the state as we speak.
When His Excellency came into power in 2023, he came with a very strange mantra. And he said, people first.
People first.
So this is a government that is centered around the development of people. Cross River State is very blessed. We had a governor who was focused on infrastructural development. We had another governor who was also focused on rural development. Then we had another governor who pursued industrialization. Now we have a governor who wants to develop people. Now, development of people, or putting the people first, is actually the combination of infrastructural development, human resource and human capacity development, and every other thing. So the governor is driving policies in every sector. So we are not in Cross River right now. We are not running a government where we are narrowed to a specific sector like education. We are not doing just education. We are doing education massively. We are doing agriculture massively. We are even doing tourism massively. So it's everything put together. And if you watch, you'll see that Cross River State right now is one of those few states in the country that have not abandoned any project from previous governments.
There's just that continuity.
Yes, we are continuing and we are expanding governance. We are making governance easy. So our policy thrust goes across all sectors. In education, we are doing massive innovations. We are driving new schools. We are partnering with the private sector to build new schools. We are creating an enabling environment for private sector, for cross riverians outside the country to come in and work with us.
Okay.
Healthcare, the same thing. So we are driving new policies. You see, when we came in, Cross River State had very low ranking in terms of routine immunization.
Okay.
But as we speak, you can Google it. You can find out Cross River is number 1 in the country in terms of routine immunization.
Okay.
That is because of the policies that His Excellency is driving in the health sector, and they are yielding quick results. So there are a lot of quick wins that we've achieved based on our rejigging of our policies. So Cross River State is doing quite well right now in terms of policy formulation and implementation of those policies.
Okay, I'm going to take you on implementation, or rather evaluation of these implementations later. But let's look at prioritizing sectors such as agriculture, tourism. How do you prioritize? Is there any need for prioritizing in the first place?
Absolutely. There is need for prioritizing our sectors.
Okay.
We are carrying a heavy burden, right? But you must know if you have itches in your body and something is itchy in your eye and another one in your nose at the same time, which one do you scratch first? What is going to affect your life first? You solve that problem. So His Excellency, yes, we have a lot of infrastructure burden in the state, but people must be alive to use infrastructure.
Exactly.
So we have prioritized the health sector.
Okay.
And for people to be alive, they need to eat. So we have prioritized the agriculture sector. But as soon as His Excellency got into power, he declared, it was like a declaration of war in the agri sector. For the first time, we mapped out our land. Cross River has done a total land survey from Bakassi to Obanliku. So we know where to plant what. That is because he wants to provide food for the people he's keeping healthy.
Okay.
And he has stated that by 2027, we want to have the healthiest citizens in the country.
Okay.
And we have been driving the health cluster aggressively to ensure we achieve that. Like I said earlier, there are results already showing. And agriculture is another top priority area. Security is a top priority area. And these are areas we are already seeing results. There was a time 3 years ago, people who lived in Akpabio ran away. Majority of people, politicians, ran away from Akpabio. But
because
today,
of the high flux of
insecurity, militancy, kidnappings. But today, I live in Akpabio. I came to work this morning from Akpabio. So Akpabio is safe. Akpabio is open. Investors are coming in. Imagine if the His Excellency did not prioritize the sectors the way he did, nothing would have been, we would not be able to have achieved anything.
Okay.
Now we've prioritized security, we've started security. Investors have confidence, they're coming in. So commerce, trade will develop. Deep sea port wouldn't have been a reality. It wouldn't have been on the table for discussion when people would have been kidnapped going to Akpabio. So security has been prioritized, agriculture has been prioritized, health sector has been prioritized, and we are going down. What do you call it? Tourism. Tourism is also blooming because he has pushed in funds to the tourism sector. We had the best carnival ever last December 2025. That is because the governor has prioritized tourism. Cross River is back in the news. Calabar is back in the news. People are hearing again about Calabar and people are coming in. 30 December in Lagos is just vibe, just news. But the real thing happened in Cross River. We have statistics to show the influx of tourists who came in here. Hotels were fully booked.
Okay, so before we continue on, how these policies are being driven in these ministries that are being prioritized, I want to ask a question based off of what you have just said. Doesn't that, bring about redundancy in certain ministries?
Like in which ministry?
In the ministries that are not really having that drive or that push.
I stated earlier that His Excellency is applying a holistic approach to governance. There is absolutely no ministry, no sector that has been abandoned.
Okay.
There is absolutely none.
Because I needed you to clarify that.
There are some ministries that people don't hear about because they are not Ministry of Works. They are not earth-moving equipments on the road, so people don't see them. They are not driving bulldozers. People don't see them. For instance, Ministry of Establishment.
Training and pensions.
Training and pensions. You don't expect to hear them on the radio, but they are working.
Okay.
They are constantly training civil servants. The commissioner in that ministry is
Etieka Lorenz.
He's doing a fantastic job. I check their action plans and you see what she has labeled out to do. State Planning Commission monitors action planning.
Okay.
So we see what each and every ministry does in the state. They are all working, but you don't expect them to be as visible as Minister of Information, who's on the radio every day.
Okay.
You don't expect them to be as visible as Ministry of Works, who's constructing roads. But they are the silent workers who are keeping our institutional systems running. Like Ministry of Employment, Human Capital Resources Development, right? They are employing people. I spoke with the commissioner last week and he told me the number of cross-variants we've pushed into the Nigerian army, number of cross-variants we've pushed into the police. These are things you will not hear. And don't forget that this is an administration that is not really good at noise making.
Exactly.
Yes, we don't tell people we are working. We work and let people see that we are working.
Okay.
So there is absolutely no redundant ministry in Cross River State.
I'll bring you back to implementation now, or monitoring implementation. How much have we monitored implementation? Because it's one thing to push policies, fund ministries, but yet another thing for us to monitor and see that these policies are being implemented.
Cross River State is one of the best planned states in this country right now. I'm a strategic planner. And if we show you our State Planning Commission circular that was issued out 2 weeks ago, you'll see that nothing escapes our radar. No ministry, no department, no local government, no agency escapes our radar. We set up action planning sessions. And in fact, from the 2nd of February, Monday, ministries, departments, and agencies are going to be flogging into the State Planning Commission to defend their plans for 2026.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. And beyond that, we also review quarterly what they've done in every quarter. We don't wait. We don't do half yearly. We don't do yearly. We do quarterly. So we are driving ministries, departments, agencies, and local governments aggressively and effectively. So they're interfacing with us. But you will not hear the news. You won't hear the noise. Because the State Planning Commission is not supposed to be out there. Like I tell people, we are the kitchen. We are not the sitting room. We are not to be seen. In fact, most times, this is my first podcast interview, but I've worked for 2 years. I don't need to sit down here and be telling people what we are doing. I just need to work and let people see the results. So ministries, departments, and agencies are closely monitored. Trust me, they are closely monitored.
Okay, let's look at leveraging on public-private partnership. I remember that I think sometime last year, the TINAPA has been given back to the state. What would we make out of that?
Thanks to His Excellency, who is trying to reposition Cross River, he's given us back TINAPA. Thanks to God as well for blessing us with a good governor. And TINAPA will be back up. Not to be run directly by the government, but by the private sector. I keep telling people that government actually has no business running businesses. Our responsibility as government is to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, is to make it possible for private sector to come in and run our economy. We don't want to keep on having the civil service mentality or, everybody has to be a civil servant. No. We want to be able to use civil servants to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. So TINAPA is back. Obudu Ranch is back. We are giving all these out to private sector to run. So many more. in the education sector, we are bringing in private investors. We are inviting Cross River State is going to have the first international baccalaureate program school.
Okay.
A school running international baccalaureate program. You can Google the IB program. It's not anywhere in South Nigeria. But the State Planning Commission is in talks with an investor who is coming in to set up an IB school.
Okay.
So parents who knew about IB, most of them sent their kids abroad. Even one of my daughters studied in an IB institution, but we had to send her outside the country. But now we are bringing investors into the country to set up an IB school. That one will bring revenue to our state. 2, will put our state in the world map. 3, will give our children opportunity to study the International Baccalaureate program. So in the health sector, we are also partnering with investors to build hospitals. The government is making provision for investors to get land, to get access to finance, to have tax holidays. And the Bureau for Public Procurement is up and doing. We are giving out our estates to private sectors, to private investors to manage. The agri estate, the cocoa estates have all been leased out. The industries that were built by the previous administration have been given to private sector.
Okay.
Government is not managing that.
Okay.
The pharmaceutical industry, I had a meeting with the people who got it. They are running. We are producing medicines in Cross River, in the pharmaceutical industry. The Kalachika will soon be running, but all private sector driven. So this government is completely open to PPPs. And we have a strong framework, a framework that works, not a PPP framework that, like what used to happen before.
Okay.
Now, government is getting maximum benefit and revenue from PPP engagements because we have a strong guy, Dr. Francis Ntamu, who sits in that department and scrutinizes everything and ensures value for government money.
Okay, we'll come back to public-private partnership and how, we can bring in more investors. But, I would like to ask this. How does the Planning Commission engage with local communities to incorporate their needs and feedbacks into policy making?
Cross River State government does not just run what we call a state plan only. We had developed, I've been in the Planning Commission for many years, even before this administration.
Exactly.
So the Cross River State government has what we call local economic empowerment development strategies. LEADs, the LEADs document.
Okay.
The LEADs document filters the needs of the people from the local government level, from the ward level. So as I sit, I know the needs of cross-variance in every local government.
Oh, fantastic.
I know the needs of cross-variance in every
I'm going to
ward.
put you on the spot now to mention a few local government area and their basic, their primary needs.
Absolutely. I will tell you all that because we have incorporated all that into our local government plans and state plan. Don't also forget that I sit with each local government chairman in the State Planning Commission and look at their plans. We know what every local government chairman is doing. We know what they intend to do. We know their problems. We know the opportunities they have. We know the threats they face. And we know their success stories. So we know in the State Planning Commission the needs and the plans for each community, for each ward, for each local government in Cross River State. So these plans then are filtered out. The ones that the local government can handle, we allow them handle. For instance, like the primary healthcare issues, the primary education issues. The ones that are beyond them, we move to the state. The ones that are beyond the state, we pursue, lobby, and get federal government intervention. And development partners as well. So we are like a coordinating unit, looking at developments across the state, local government, wards, the states, and what we can even attract from the national.
Okay, would you say that there are challenges that you get to face as the CEO of the State Planning Commission?
Of course. If there were no challenges, then I would not be human. There are challenges. We face challenges.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, we face challenges in the areas of funding. The governor desires strongly to carry so many things at the same time because the needs are enormous. The weight is heavy. But, my challenge number one is to prioritize what the governor does.
Okay.
We need to prioritize where we intervene. You have 2 sick children and you have money to treat one. which one do you treat first? Who waits? So these are challenges.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That's why we talked about prioritizing here.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You have two competing needs in two different sectors. What do you do? There's a primary school that is collapsing, you need to fix it. And there is a road that is collapsing, you need to fix it. So
it leaves you as a crossroad.
I mean, and you have to do it. And beyond just the development, you also have to balance the politics of development. Mm-hmm. The fact that there are so many things going wrong in a particular local government, let's say Abi, for instance, because it starts with AB. You cannot move all resources to that place.
Okay.
No matter what is happening. People will misunderstand. They'll say, oh, because the governor is from Abi, or because the deputy governor is from Abi, or because planning, So as His Excellency needs to balance, and that's what he's been balancing. You see that he constructs roads in Bakassi or in the south, he will construct in the central, he will also construct in the north. Because he is not the governor of the north. He's not the governor of the south. He's not the governor of Odukmani. He's governor of Cross River State. So everybody needs to feel his impact, the impact of governance at the same level. And we try to balance it. No matter how pressing the need is, you try to just touch it, balance it, but let the others know that they've not been neglected.
Okay.
I can tell you right now that there are activities of government in every local government or area of the state.
Okay.
It wasn't like that before. If you go and look at what happened in the last 8 years, I'm not criticizing any government, but I can mention some local governments that did not have anything in 8 years. But that is not happening now. We are fixing these errors. So the governor is doing really, really well.
There's another thing I would like us to look at, when it comes to feedback. Now, everybody, would feel that after a year, 2 years in government, there should be some form of rejigging the, State Executive Council or a shaking of the State Executive Council. But that hasn't happened in this particular administration. I don't know. I know that the governor is a very benevolent, very humane, has a very humane personality. But, what's on the street? Oh, the governor is supposed to have rejected. The governor is supposed to have, thrown this person out. Oh, this ministry is not doing too well. The person should be kicked out. What's your thought on that?
The governor is like a football coach. When a football match is going on, the spectators will say, hey, coach, remove him. He's not playing well. But the coach knows why he's leaving the person on the field. You don't change a winning team. What's in the mind of the coach is to win the match. Not what the spectators think. The coach understands his players more than the spectators do. Yes, there is opportunity for feedback. There's opportunity for suggestions. But you don't compel the governor to sack his team. That person you think is not working, probably the governor knows why he is not working. That is not visible that is working. But you may not know what he is doing behind. For instance, we celebrated Cali Air only on the day the plane touched down Calabar. But people do not know the work that went behind the scene. Most of the initiatives the governor is pushing are things people don't see. And you don't know which commissioner is driving that initiative. But simply because you haven't seen a skyscraper with lights, you say he hasn't worked. He's working. Most of these jobs are actually foundational jobs. Yesterday, we were in Abuja. Cross-Riverians were in Abuja. We are pushing to get our oil wells. People are making these things happen. What if that particular commissioner you want to sack is the one pushing for the return of our oil wells? The governor sees a holistic picture of the state. None of us, not me, not even the deputy governor, sees what the governor sees.
But do you think that every ministry is doing well?
Well, yes, every ministry is doing well, but they could do better. Because I've seen a situation where ministries did not do up to 20% of what these ministries are doing now. And I am also, don't get me wrong, I'm not also saying that everybody we have in government is perfect. I am sure they are more than...
I don't think I would like you to use the word perfect, but yes. Every person or in, heading every ministry, would you say the person is effective?
Well, effectiveness has a scale, I know. But I am also sure there are more than 100 people out there who would be more effective than Bong in the Planning Commission. So would that let the governor sack me? So you need to look at all these things. There are dynamics to it. I look at development, yes, but the governor sees beyond development. The governor needs to balance development with politics. The governor needs to let his governance be balanced. So there are things he considers that the ordinary person on the street cannot consider. The governor considers political expediency. If the governor wants to look at development only and pick highly efficient people only, what if he gets 20 highly efficient people to be commissioners and all 20 of them are from one side of the state? Let's say the north.
Okay.
The south will agitate. The south will say, oh, he hasn't given us commissioners. The man on the street who is complaining today will be the one to crucify the governor tomorrow. You say he has not given us a commissioner. My local government does not have commissioner. So even if you pick someone who hasn't gone to school from that local government and make a commissioner, the person will now be happy.
And in most times, they are the ones that choose. Oh, let this person,
Absolutely. I can tell you in full confidence, there are people in the governor's cabinet that the governor did not know closely. So how did they get there? They were nominated. They were recommended by people who are today complaining. But in conclusion, I wouldn't want the governor to change a winning team. When we start losing, let him change them. If he sees someone who is not striking well, let him change the person. But if a team is doing well, allow them to work. And the governor sees better than the rest of us.
So for you, the strength of others would cover for the weakness of others.
Well, I don't know who's weak. If I see a weak person, I will point out. If you see, okay, Janice, who is weak?
No, you're not going to pose that question at me. We are just having conversations here.
If we see a weak person, you
don't put me on the spot. I'm the one interviewing you. So I'll throw the questions at you. Anyways, I would say that your commission is doing fantastically well.
Thank you very much.
But again, let's come back to investment and investors, coming into the States. I know that sometime this year, as of last year, let me start from last year, we got the, what's it called now? The hosting rights to host all heads of, all governors of across the African countries in Cross River State. Now, that's a very huge one. And we really commend the governor of Cross River State, for making that happen. But beyond hosting these governors from other African states in Cross River State, do we have the capacity to host? But and again, beyond hosting, what's there for us as Cross Riverians? What's there for the woman in what markets? What's there for the taxi drivers?
Thank you very much, Janice. That is a blessing. That opportunity to host is a blessing. Sometime in November last year, I had the opportunity to attend COP30. COP30 held in a city called Belém in Brazil. And Brazil hosted the whole world. To get a flight from Sao Paulo to Belém, I paid almost times 6 what the usual cost would be. That is money to the economy. Hotels were fully booked just because Belém is hosting COP. I had to stay in a cruise ship that was brought from Barcelona. So they didn't have hotels. They had to make provisions. So whenever a city hosts an event that brings in people who have money, like governors, it's a no-brainer to know that there is going to be a ripple effect in terms of value to our state. Our hotels are going to be fully booked. The woman selling food by the roadside, like as you said, will sell more because these governors are coming with their aides. They are coming with media teams. They are coming with crews. People who want to. Beyond that, it will put Calabar in the news. Last year, Cross River State hosted the National Council on Health.
Exactly.
For the first time in 65 years. So everybody who is anybody in the health sector was in Calabar. Until today, we are still getting feedback on what happened, the value that brought to us. The governor has done so well by bringing this or making us win this hosting right. And I pray we win more. I look for a day where we will host World Cup. I look for a day where we will host international conferences in Calabar. We have International Conference Center in Calabar. grossly underutilized. That place should be fully booked from first of the month to the last day of the month, January to December. Underutilized. We have Tinapa Business Resort, grossly underutilized. We have Obudukatu Ranch, grossly. Calabar should become an event city. We should be the Davos of Africa. Every year, people should be throwing into Calabar because we have the environment, clean, green, loving and peaceful people, civilized people. We don't have rude people. We don't have criminals on our streets. We were warned when we got to Belém that take care of your phones. I mean, that doesn't happen in Calabar. In Calabar, I can drop my phone and go away and walk back and pick it up. You see, you drive on the streets of Calabar, you find smiley faces. People are happy to see you. You can walk on the streets. I brought foreigners to Calabar in December. They left me. They were strolling around the city. So Calabar is peaceful. Calabar is safe. Calabar is clean.
I quite agree with
and
you.
And we need to bring more events, more conventions. We should become a convention center. Like I said, we should become the Davos of Africa. Thank you.
Investment opportunities. We are talking to a global, platform. We are talking to a global network of people. What are the other opportunities that, we have in Cross River State that you tell someone, please come and invest here? And then what is it that the state is also going to be giving back? How does investors, gain in all of the investment they want to do here?
Cross River State is an investor heaven. From Bakassi to Obanliku. But, we've been talking about, let me start from solid minerals. And we've been advertising our solid minerals over the years.
Okay.
But we did not do certain critical things. Yes, I understand that mineral resources is under the exclusive list of federal government. But some states are mining.
Exactly.
Some states are mining. Zamfara is mining gold.
Gold, yeah.
And we have gold in Cross River as well. Yes, we are just acting like the good boys of the federal government. We want to be loyal. But, we need to either tell the federal government, let us mine. Let us develop our sector. Let us develop our mineral resource sector and bring in investors. Not to sit in Abuja and draw maps and sell our land, give licenses on our land to people that we don't know about. Now, tomorrow, those people now go and bring people we don't know and infiltrate our local communities and commit havoc. We have records of strangers moving into Cross River in huge numbers. Encroaching into Cross River and doing mining. They are not profiled. We don't know them. Government of Cross River knows nothing about them. Yes, they are raping our women. They are abusing our children. They are fighting and killing our people. Why do we have mineral resources, solid minerals in the exclusive list? Why? What comes to Cross River? When we are taking the pains, the negative effect of mining, the impact on our environment. However, we do not also know the right volume of these minerals that we have. So what do you tell an investor? That, okay, we have manganese. Where? You say Akampa. Where in Akampa? You cannot pinpoint. In what volume? Is it in economic quantity? You cannot tell. So we've identified this problem, and presently I'm in talks with an investor who would come in and map our mineral resources and tell us exact location, exact quantity, so that we put that on our investment portal and let investors know if they want to mine whatever they want to mine. This is the quantity that is in Cross River at so cadastral area, and they will pay money to Cross River. That will generate revenue to our state and to make it easy for the investors as well to get directly to what they want to get at. That is on the mineral sector. In other sectors like aviation, I'm in talks with another company. State Planning Commission is in talks with another company also to see how we can expand Cali Air with our Ministry of Aviation. We want to get crafts, more aircrafts, more fleets, because we want Calabar to become a hub. And don't forget, government is not going to be running these aircrafts. We don't want to manage this airline as a government. We want the private sector to manage it for us. Belongs to us for the good of our people, but properly managed. Government has no business doing business.
You said so earlier.
Yes, and I stand by it. So we need to create an enabling environment for this business to run. Calabar should be a hub for aviation. We should be able to fly from Margaretable International on the line airport to Douala, Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, other locations. We should even be able to fly from Calabar with a small plane to Port Harcourt. We don't have good roads, but we must stay connected. Businesses must thrive. We should be able to go to Abuja in the morning and come back in the evening. We cannot depend on one flight to Abuja one day. We should be able to fly people from Calabar to Budu. We used to do these things. It's not rocket science. So we are opening up, getting investors to come in and invest in the aviation sector.
What about the agricultural sector? Because I know that Cross River State has one of the richest mangroves, in the whole of Africa.
51% of the rainforest in Nigeria is in Cross River State.
Exactly.
And in the agri sector, we are opening up. Companies are coming in. They are taking our estates, like I stated earlier. And we have investors coming in almost on a daily basis. Because of these investors, we have reduced our business registration time in Cross River. It's very easy to do business, very easy to register for business in Cross River.
Okay.
So those who need any contact, the State Planning Commission is open. The Investment Promotion Bureau is open. So we give you guidance under 6 hours. You can get all you need.
Okay, fantastic. I think at this moment, I'm going to ask you, is there like a toll-free number or just a number, people can call in to make findings or anything?
Yes, before the end of this podcast, I'm sure I should be able to display my number.
Okay.
I work 247.
Your number is in the public space?
Yes, of course.
You don't have a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with that. I pick calls at every time.
You're a public figure. So.
No, I serve the government.
You serve the public. Okay, so it's been wonderful talking to you. Let's not forget, we are looking at Destination Cross River policies and opportunities. Now, when we talk about Destination Cross River, we're not just limiting to Destination Cross River as a tourism hub. We're looking at Destination Cross River in terms of Cross River State as the last bus stop for almost everything, for education, for health sector, for information, for almost everything. And that's why we tagged this Destination Cross River policies and opportunities. And of course, I've been talking to a very important personality in the state, the Chief Executive Officer of the State Planning Commission, Pastor Bong. Let's leave that now, the whole talks of what to invest and what not to invest. Let's come back to, I know you're a product of Bayside.
Yes.
You stayed in Bayside.
I grew up in Bayside.
Okay, you grew up in Bayside. I don't know if you're from there. No, you're Akpabio?
I'm from Akpabio.
Akpabio, fantastic. But you grew up in Bayside. So it's more like you have experiences that shaped you from Calabar Bayside. I'd like you to just, in a nutshell, tell us those experiences that shaped you from Calabar Bayside. My late father, may so rest in peace, was a pastor of the Apostolic Church in Beecroft. Okay. So we lived in Beecroft Street, and I was a pupil in Duketown Primary School. And I left Duketown Primary School to Duketown Secondary School before Hope Waterland St. Patrick's College. Growing up in Bayside was beautiful. It was safe. Bayside was safe. Really?
Yes, we used to walk to school. We used to play at Euro. We used to move around. We used to visit friends. Bayside was a dream of everyone. In fact, you knew your neighbors. And we grew up thinking Bayside would develop. But I feel sad each time I go back to Bayside and see the decay. I had to go and do an intervention in my alma mater, Duketown Primary School, to give to support the pupils in that school and also support the school some months back. And I see that Bayside is like a place that has been neglected. And I had the opportunity also of sending a lecture sometime last year, I think December last year, when there was a Bayside event. But unfortunately, I couldn't attend in person because I was not in the country. I wrote about integrating Bayside into Cross River State governance planning processes and systems. And I focused on three major areas. One is trade. Do you know that 31% of all African trades, all African slaves left through the shores of Bayside.
Okay.
And what have we done about it? In terms of tourism, nothing. We are not putting our story out there. The Baghdadi story is everywhere in terms of slavery and slave trade and slave routes. But Bayside contributed 31% to the story of slavery. Nobody's putting it out there. So we need to do something about it. Tourism Bureau, Ministry of Culture and Tourism needs to put up a plan on how to showcase the tourism potentials of Bayside.
Let me cut in here before we even go into how to begin to showcase Bayside. It's very appalling. It's when you begin to say that Bayside, an economic nerve of the state at one point, is now being relegated, is now being in a shamble. What must have gone wrong?
Shifting trends, change in government and priorities of government.
Okay.
There was a time the water route from the beach in Bayside was very active.
Okay.
People were going from there to Oron. People were going from there to Creektown. People were going from there to Cameroon. So there was heavy traffic going there. But that stopped because of certain things, maybe piracy. The sea was not safe anymore. Maybe wrong trade policies.
Oh, what about development?
You cannot take
because maybe for some reason there were no roads at the time. So the shores were a better means of transportation, or the only means of transportation at the time.
We are still not using roads. So what happened?
We're using roads.
We are not still using roads. No, we are not. We are not using roads to Cameroon.
Okay.
What happened with that trade route from Bayside to Cameroon? Something happened.
Okay.
We need to reactivate it.
Okay.
What were we moving from Bayside to Cameroon? We need to bring it back. Was it palm oil? Was it fish? What was it? We need to formally fix whatever is going on in that route.
Okay.
If it is a smuggling route, then we clean it up.
Okay.
Remove the smugglers. Put the customs there. Let us have a port reactivated in that place. It will drive traffic. When traffic is being driven to Bayside, roads in Bayside will be fixed automatically.
Now you're talking about infrastructures,
yes.
Right? What about the people? Because we hear a lot of school dropouts. We hear a lot of child pregnancy. We hear a lot of drugs and all of that.
Why would the pupils not drop out of school? There's no reason why they will not drop out. Have you seen the schools in Bayside? Go to Duketown Primary School and you weep. Go to Duketown Secondary School, you weep. I had to do an intervention personally in Duketown Secondary School towards the end of last year. They don't have benches. They don't have school. I have had the chance to call even the prelate of Presbyterian Church, because that Duketown Secondary School belongs to Presbyterian Church.
Okay, these schools
they are mission schools.
Mission schools.
Yes. But although they are mission schools, government has a part to play. So
why is government not playing the part?
We are playing the part now. That's why we're having this discussion. Bayside is being integrated into governance structure now.
Okay.
And I am actively, as a Baysider, making sure that we fix Bayside. We will fix Bayside.
Okay.
I have engaged the Presbyterian Church. I have engaged friends. I have engaged people who schooled in the schools, right? And we are doing things. We need to fix roads. We need to build infrastructure in Bayside. But before all these things are done, Bayside also needs to give guarantee that they are safe. The place is safe.
Okay.
Nobody wants to go to Bayside to put up his money or build any investment when the place is volatile. So we need the traditional institution in Bayside needs to do something. It's not just about government. Government can only create an enabling environment and support, but people must take ownership. People have vandalized that school. Who are they? Are they strangers? The answer is no. Nobody would leave Ikore to go to Bayside to go and vandalize Duketown Primary School.
Yeah. I was talking to Reverend Grace Ekanam the other day on the same set, based off of the fact that she's also a product of Bayside, and we spoke around behavioral change. How do we begin to instill behavioral change? Because it starts from there. When you say take ownership. It means that your mindset should begin to shift from being destructive, from being, an instrument of, from being volatile, to beginning to say, oh, this is our thing. Let's protect it. Let's guard it.
Absolutely. Bedside as a community is not responsible for the outcome of anybody's life, especially negatively. Because if you show me one person from Bedside who is not doing well, I'll show you two from Bedside who are doing well. So we grew up from that same community. We went to those same schools, Duke Town and primary school, Duke Town secondary school, Henshaw Town, We grew up there. So for one person who is not doing well, I can show you 2 or 3 who are doing well. So the ones who are not doing well, what happened?
That's a big question.
What happened? So let's go back from the family unit and begin to talk to ourselves, talk to our children. Most of them are doing drugs. You can't do drug and expect to become something tangible tomorrow. Some of them are getting into relationships when they are not even ready, and they get pregnant and drop out of school. Who do you blame? You want to blame Bedside? No. You want to blame the government? No. You can't. Government will continue to provide enabling environment for people to go to school. Government will provide schools in Bedside. Government will provide health facilities in Bedside. Government will provide access roads in Bedside. Government will provide electricity infrastructure. Yet people will go and be stealing the cables.
So the family institution has a bigger role to play.
Yes, the family, the traditional institution, and the church.
Why the church though?
Because people go to church. Even when they don't believe fully in Christ, they go to church as a way of life. Yeah. So let them just hear. Let pastors keep talking. Peradventure, someone will just hear. People go to church these days because they don't want to be the only ones left in the compound. So if something happens, they will not ask them. They say, you didn't go to church. You go for Obasi.
Oh, I forget.
Yep. So no man go for Obasi. So I went in church. So So let the churches also, talk about these things. Let pastors begin to preach the truth, the bitter truth.
Okay.
Let's forget about the prosperity gospel. Come, the Lord is good, He will bless you. Okay. Let's tell people the truth, what they need to do.
Okay, so I'm going to leave you as we wrap up, but what's going to be your last word, your parting word for us today?
Parting word today is Cross River is back. The governor is intentional about fixing the state. We welcome diasporans. We want them to come home and help us fix. We don't know it all.
Okay.
And the government is open to productive, positive criticism. Tell us when we are not doing right. Tell us what we are not doing right. My phone lines are open all the time.
Okay.
The governor takes calls as well.
Okay.
And let's build our state. We are fortunate right now to have a governor who wants to develop Cross River. Let us support him.
Absolutely.
Sincerely.
And then you said that you were going to leave your phone number?
Yes.
Okay, so just go ahead and read.
For those outside Nigeria, my number starts with +234 080 33 45 3409.
Fantastic. All right. It's been a wonderful time talking to Pastor Bong, the Chief Executive Officer of the State Planning Commission. And I must really commend you and your team for doing the good job. You're doing the Lord's work. All right. That's the much we can take on the African Diaspora channel in collaboration with Cross River Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Janice, and I'll see you again when I see you.